Hi everybody, Top Paul here with Left-Handed Knife Reviews, and today we're going to be doing a review of the Civivi Baklash, model number C801C. Let's get right into it. First up, we have our facts and figures. This is going to be a 3.5-inch blade in 9CR18 MOV steel, running on a set of caged bearings. These scales are made out of G10 and are affixed to a set of blue stainless steel liners, and the handle measures in right at 4.6 inches. At the time of this review, this knife sells for about $42.50 on Blade HQ and Amazon. I'm going to put some items on the table for size comparison, as the exact dimensions of the knife will appear on the screen. First up, we're going to have our Dixon Ticonderoga pencil. Let's follow that up with the left-handed Spyderco Paramilitary 2. Follow that up with the Ontario Rat Model 2 in D2 steel. And last up, we'll do another Civivi, the ever popular amongst right-handers, the Civivi Elementum. All right, next up, we'll talk about Larry and my experience while using the knife. So the Backlash was enjoyable for us to use. The deploy on this knife is very good with the flipper tab, as you'd expect with a Civivi knife. The scales in this model were the G10, and their G10 definitely does have some good texture. The handle of this knife is fairly long, and it gave enough room for our hands to hold it comfortably. Overall, we enjoyed carrying this knife for review. Now, let's take a look at some of the things that the Backlash succeeded at. The Backlash is a very good knife. Knowing that this was one of the first knives that Civivi came out with, they really came out swinging. The first thing we noticed with the Backlash is how well it fits in the hand and how the ergonomics were really at the forefront of its design. This finger choil is a really good size, and the spot for your thumb to rest is really one of the best ones that we've experienced on knives so far. On top of the really good ergos, the blade is also fantastic. 3.5 inches of a really nice hollow ground 9CR18 MOV steel. At this price point, this blade is top notch. All right, so let's shift over to struggles. So for struggles, the size of this knife is actually in a bit of a weird spot for me. The handle and blade feel a little bit long for the overall shape of the knife for EDC tasks for me. When you choke up, the handle sticks out a lot. And even when you choke back, there's still a good chunk of handle for even my very large hands. It feels like the knife could have been a little bit more compact as far as the length goes, and it would still function almost identically. It just felt a little bit thinner and a little bit longer than I really cared for over the course of carrying this for review. Next up, we have our points of note. Points of note are neutral things that we want to mention but fall in the gray area between successes and struggles. On this knife, another great Civivi deep carry pocket clip. There's a nice little lanyard hole along the back here. And overall, visually, this knife has some nice touches. The black on blue on black on blue on black kind of spacing in the back here is really nice. The blue liners are a really kind of stellar touch for something that is you normally just see kind of black on silver on silver on black on silver. The blue definitely gives it a nice little pop of color. And then one thing that I haven't mentioned before that I do want to take time to mention, Civivi doesn't use T6 screws, at least to my knowledge, for any of the body screws or the pivot screws. A couple of the clips are T6s, but those are usually only in there a little bit. That is always a very nice touch on these Civivi knives. All right, let's move on to everything that's left. The part of the knife review, we talk about everything left-handed. This is going to be a flipper knife. Flipper knives are going to have identical experience for both left and right-handed individuals. On top of that, you have a reversible deep carry pocket clip, so you can carry this on your right side or your left side the same. Now we'll move on to the liner lock. You're gonna have your normal liner lock problems, but you will notice that there is a good amount of what I'm calling bite to get this liner lock over. Something we have seen on other Civivi knives that we really like, makes it very easy to manipulate for a left-handed individual, considering we are grabbing it with the tip of our thumb and dragging it back across. So this is a fairly good liner lock as far as right-handed liner locks go. The cutout is a little bit deeper on the right-hand side, but since this is not either a thumb stud or a opening hole open, there is no concerns there. Overall, as far as liner lock knives go, this one is very left-handed friendly. All right, let's look at our final thoughts and recommendations. So, for $42.50, you get a good amount of knife that functions well for both left and right-handed individuals. The ergos and the blade were really high points on this knife for us. Overall, the knife kind of struggled with its size and proportions for us, but overall, the positives outweigh the one struggle we saw, so at this price, we can definitely recommend this knife. Thank you very much for joining me today. Be sure to subscribe for more great knife content, and we'll see you next time.